Hi, George McKenzie back again with our second video entitled Life Insurance Financial Needs Analysis. If you are watching this video, we hope you've seen Life Insurance, The Greatest Gift, Part 1, and agree that you need some life insurance. In this video, our goal will be to help you determine how much life insurance you need before deciding what kind to buy. We will cover that in our next video, Part 3. I believe most people would agree financial planning is important, but unfortunately, most get overwhelmed and don't follow through. Too often, people believe another family member will help them out. If you inherited your sister's or brother's children following their death, would that affect your standard of living? Now imagine for a moment that you died last night. What you would like to see happen and what will eventually happen could be two very different outcomes. No amount of money could ever replace you, but having life insurance would make it more manageable. Can we agree that you would likely Google map an unfamiliar destination you plan to travel to? Now imagine having to navigate a destination for someone else or them for you without this roadmap. Do you have a will and power of attorney that gives someone you trust the power to act on your behalf? Only 50% of people have a will, but less than 5% have written instruction to carry out their wishes. Do your trusted advisors know where to find your documents? Without these documents, making decisions on your behalf becomes very difficult. Child custody, selling your home, disposing of your possessions, closing bank and credit card accounts, children's education, and completing your final tax return, to name a few. Another thing to consider, if the guardian you chose to look after your children lost pension credits while staying home to raise your children, would you want to compensate them? Most people spend more time planning their vacation than their futures. For example, premature death or retirement. In the next few minutes, let's determine your need for life insurance, if any. First, we start with the immediate cash needs. In other words, the items you would want paid off immediately following your death. For example, funeral costs, which include cremation or burial costs. The average cost today is about $10,000. Outstanding debts, which include credit cards, vehicle payments, student and or family loans, mortgage cancellation or lines of credit, emergency fund, usually 3 to 6 months gross income, covering such items as counseling or time off work to grieve for the loved ones you leave behind. Educational fund, would you want to guarantee your children receive a full education? If your children already have plans, are they self-completing? In other words, who will contribute to their educational fund if you're not here? And finally, other. Legal and accounting fees, charitable gifts, capital gains on property to remain in the family, and of course, guardianship. After the immediate cash needs have been addressed, we now turn our attention to the continuing income needs. Here we look at the income needed to support dependents. The rule of thumb is 50 to 60% of your gross income, but can be higher or lower. When determining this percentage, do you want the people you leave behind to have a standard of living that is the same, better, or worse? If you only want temporary income replacement for 1 or 2 years, add that amount to the immediate cash needs. For example, $50,000 for 2 years would be $100,000. If you want to replace your income for a longer period of time, for example, until your children are no longer dependent, or for the lifetime of someone you love, the following will give you a starting point. Currently, GICs, Guaranteed Investment Certificates, pay less than 3%. In other words, $1 million earning 3% would pay interest of $30,000 per year, and that $30,000 would be taxable. Remember that you can always draw on your $1 million, but the result will be less interest per year in the future. Once you have calculated your immediate cash needs and added your continuing income needs, subtract any personally owned life insurance, employer-provided life insurance, and bank-owned mortgage life insurance, along with your savings. Any discrepancy should be covered by additional life insurance. Start with a budget. How much can you afford to spend each month or each year on life insurance? This will determine the type of plan you buy: term, permanent, or some combination of the two. We will cover these options in the next video, part 3. But before I go, let me ask you a few questions. Do you think life insurance is a great investment? Most people believe it's a terrible investment. Now that you've completed the financial needs analysis and agree that you need more life insurance, how will those immediate cash needs and continuing income needs be covered? If you could instruct your family to give up your best investments or your worst investments to cover those needs, what would you tell them? Naturally, you would want them to use your worst investments. And if you're still following me, what is the worst investment you know? Life insurance, for pennies on the dollar. If you were to die tonight, you would want your family to receive these benefits, wouldn't you? As a thank you for watching this video, I'd like to offer you or someone you know a free 30-minute consultation valued at $100. Through these videos, we want to help you provide the greatest gift to someone you love. Thank you.